For this tutorial you'll need to use pencils from 2B to about 8B, and you want to start off with drawing out the eyebrow, making sure that the bottom and the top line are parallel to each other to make it nice and arched and symmetrical. Well, no, not symmetrical, but just like even, so that it matches the eye size and shape. So you can see me sketching out the crease and the eye shape, which is kind of like a long almond-like shape, and you just want to faintly sketch out the waterlines, the tear ducts, and the lash line, which is kind of sloped and it droops down. And here's the iris, it's just like a circle. I made it look more to the left, and make sure not to make it too small or too big. It's about half the size of the eye. And then you can start sketching out the eyeliner, and the one I'm drawing is quite thick and dramatic, so if you want to make yours smaller then go ahead, or if you want it to be even more big then go ahead. And then I began to draw the eyelashes. Make sure that they're quite like uneven lengths, and just always draw from the root of the lash line up, and just kind of fade your pencil as you go up, if that makes sense. The bottom lashes are obviously a bit shorter than the top ones, and they also get shorter as you get closer to the corners of the eye. I made the top lashes very dramatic for the sake of this video, because the look that I was going for was like a dramatic fake lashes, long eyeliner, strong eyebrows. So here is me rubbing out the eyebrow, but you can still see the guidelines very faintly, so I just use it as a little guide to start sketching out the hairs. And you want them to kind of go together in the right direction, so they kind of meet each other at different lengths and different points and go to the right. So you want to start from the start and just move. You can see what I'm doing in the video, and make sure that the tail is darker than the front, so that it gives it that nice fade effect. Okay, so I'm just elongating the eyelashes, and I think I'm switching pencils in between these takes, because sometimes you can see darker lines, sometimes there's lighter lines, so that's why I said that you need pencils from about 2B to 8B, and this one is about a 4B, I think, just to kind of make more defined marks, and also use a rubber, obviously, and I like to sharpen mine at the edge so that it's easy to get those details. So yeah, you want to make sure that the eyelashes kind of meet together at the tips, to make them look more natural and realistic. Then there's a weird pause, I don't know what I was doing there, but this is the kind of shape you want to achieve. Also, sorry if the lighting in this is quite blue, or if my hands look blue. It's just because my light has like a blue tint to it and makes it look like that. So you can definitely see that that's a darker pencil, and I'm just defining the eyebrows, giving a bit more definition, but still focusing on the tail and the arch, and making them darker than the rest of the eyebrow. And make sure that the hairs are like uneven, messy, and you can see that the hair, instead of just like a block colour, which is going to be the eyeliner. Then I'm just deepening the crease, and I think my camera died here, but you can kind of see what I did, so just shade it in and make it darker on the lines and in the corners, and leave the middle lighter than the rest. So for the tear duct, it's quite a shiny part of the eye, so leave some white gaps in it, as well as the waterlines are very light parts of the eye as well. But the white middle part of your eye, I'm not sure what it's called, but that is not completely white. You have to add shadows to it around the iris and the corners to make it look more like a sphere, because your eyeball is a sphere. And make sure to add an under eye crease, just because everyone has them and it's it just makes your drawing look more realistic and more 3D. Then with a darker pencil you can start marking out the iris and make it darker on the outside bits. I think, is it the perimeter? I think it's the perimeter. On the perimeters, and go kind of fade in and make it lighter as you go in. The iris has a lot of detail and stuff, but if you have time and patience, make sure to like do all the details if you want. But I just kind of do like little squiggles, and I just think that because the focus of this was the eyeliner and the dramatic lashes, I didn't focus on it too much, but you can see a bit of like lines and squiggles in there, but I didn't spend too much time on them. So then my favourite part, which is the eyeliner, you just want to take an 8B pencil, which is very dark and very like dense, so it honestly looks like a black like crayon. And I started off with just like lining out the outside bits and anything else that's completely black on the picture, which is the pupil, and the little rectangles in the middle are just reflections of light, so it makes it look more realistic obviously. And you can just add that, and it like instantly makes it look more realistic, in my opinion at least. And then you just want to kind of block colour the eyeliner, and I left a little bit of like a shine near the middle bit where it's not just completely black. That's because I wanted it to be a bit more 3D, even though it kind of gets covered up by the lashes by the end, but it's fine. Then with the 8B, you just want to darken any areas that you feel like need a bit more depth, like the creases and the edges of the eyes should be the darkest bits. And then you can make a start on the eyelashes or the eyebrow. Just finished the eyebrow. Yeah, you just want to make it look like hairs and keep going over it, and make sure that the arch and the tail are the darkest parts, because you want that fade and you want it to look nice. So then I just add some lashes. I think my camera cut at this point, but you can see what I did. You just want to go from the lash line out and join them at the tips sometimes, like at the bottom ones. So this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please like, subscribe and comment down below, and I'll see you in my next video.